Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where last episode we ended our war against the commonality of Azan's Crucible by making sure that the commonality of Azan's Crucible no longer exists. And that's great. We're very happy about that. Now, we've got an interesting opportunity on the Autocracy. They are pathetic to us in fleet power, and we should definitely continue to reinforce our fleet power. But this is a very interesting opportunity. It's just going to be on a lot of fronts, right? Like, a way lot of fronts. Are they at war right now? No. So they're just fighting the contingency up over here. Can that fleet handle this contingency fleet? I'm not convinced it can. It'll do damage, but it's going to take a lot of damage. My main question right now is, where are the Ubzant fleets? Like, surely they have some, right? They've got this fleet here that's 100k. That's not very threatening. Do they have any out in their little exclaves out over this way? That's all the Scanurians there still. Where indeed? Is that all they have? That would be insane, right? I feel like that would be insane if that was all they had. That would explain why they're pathetic to us. So where are their fleets? They have to be around somewhere, right? Right? Well, regardless, we do need to work on our economy for a little bit here. So let's go ahead and go through here. We need... Actually, let's let this tick through for a month tick first and let these update. Make sure that this is all correct. Let's let that go for a bit. And once the month tick happens, then we'll check through, because that will give us a better understanding of what we've got going on here. Okay, so that's the month tick there. We're a little bit negative on minerals. We're pretty negative on food. I'm not too concerned right now about Unity. We can deal with that eventually. We can probably turn off something over here if we need to. The Scientific Revolution, to be honest, would be something that we could turn off at this point. Or even Numistic Visualization. But we would probably want that on. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through here real quick and see what we've got for jobs. Anything at all. Checking through. The answer is so far no. So far, absolutely nothing. Hello, here's allegedly a unification center. I would like to put in a food processing facility and a bunch of agriculture districts. That will help. It'll require some migration or population growth, but that will do the trick for now. And it looks like that is all we've got. Well, this trade station here. Okay, so this has 3 lines. Is this a level 3 trade station? I'm not sure. Is that indicating how many districts we have available? No. It's definitely not. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, this is a size 8, so that's what that indicates. Cool, good to know. So that's fine. We could definitely use some housing here, so we'll build a couple of housing districts, but it should be fine. Cool, so that's all underway. The question is, when do we pull the trigger on the Autocracy? Well, all of our fleets are currently up in the Tunari Vortex. Moda is actually grabbable, allegedly. I'm not sure if we would keep that. We'll need to find out. I'm going to take the BOS Bengal over here. Come on over and build a starbase. Okay, now I'm going to grab all of our fleets here, and they're all going to head back to Monakadir. They're going to enter orbit here. However, there are a few fleets that require upgrades. The BOS Guardian, which apparently we can't upgrade. Okay, cool. Oh, we wanted to upgrade once we got all this done. Do we do this now? I guess it's okay to do now. So we'll just get all of these out of the way for the moment. That'll be fine. There we go. So they are preparing for those upgrades. That'll cost a little bit in terms of alloys. How many alloys do we need at this point? 176,000. Okay, that number is definitely dropping. The Karelian Foundation subjugated the Kingdom of Yonderim. So I guess the Kingdom of Yonderim just really, really wants to be subjugated. Okay, cool. So cloaked fleets are a thing. That's definitely true. This admiral could go here.
The conquest of a new world has begun.
Okay, so that's all looking good. I want to check in on our expansion planner quick. And let's see here. Alpine World. Are you being terraformed? You're terraforming. Okay. So we've got this here. Coal bath. It looks like that's being... That's terraforming. Being colonized. I'm pretty sure that's what that icon indicates. So we've got this desert world that is terraforming, and these planet types are not colonizable. But they are terraforming candidates. So I would like to select these. Yeah, here's one out over here. We'll go ahead and get that terraforming. And we'll select the other one, and we'll terraform that as well. Now, there was one more that was a terraforming candidate. So where were you? Detonol 4. Really? I feel like that's not a okay. It's a terraforming candidate that we can't actually terraform. Got it. That's fine for now.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay, so there's an ancient nano missile cloud launcher. Let's continue to work on the ancient pulse armor. So those are going to be done fairly quickly, and they're not going to be catching up with us, although they are going to be building ships, is my guess. They're not going to catch up with us for quite a long time because their economy is similar.
The new world has begun.
Okay, there's a giant battle going on up here. So, do the contingency win this? I'm guessing no. Surely they lose this one, right? The main question was whether this was powerful enough to attack this fleet. Yeah, the contingency are definitely going to lose here. That's fine. We're completely okay with this.
Our ships have been made superior.
Excellent. So our ships are returning, and
our ships have been made superior.
These guys are in orbit around Monakadir Station. I actually want to grab all of these that are not currently upgrading. I don't know where these fleets are necessarily intended to go. Let's see if we can find that out. Okay. The 2nd and the 10th fleet can definitely be merged together, so that'll be fine. Cool.
Our ships have been made superior.
Okay, so only the 8th fleet is now upgrading. And it's just this battleship. Cool. So we're going to take all of these fleets that are not the 8th.
The conquest of a new world has begun.
And they are going to come over and enter orbit around Sol instead of Monakadir, because Sol has a reduced upkeep cost. So that'll be fine. We do need a new admiral here. We can go through all of these eventually. This world has been terraformed. We should colonize it. And this world has also been terraformed. We should colonize that as well. There we go. Fantastic. So that's all underway. We will continue to reinforce our fleets. We now need 168,000.
The conquest of a new world has begun.
Fantastic. You are supposed to be entering orbit of Sol. You're not supposed to be here. I guess we can get you a new admiral, but you should definitely be entering orbit here. Cool. The 7th fleet is in Tau Ceti. It should be coming over here as well. I guess it didn't properly get selected. That's fine. Cool. So these are all heading in, and they're getting their repairs, which, sure, I guess some of them would need that. That makes sense. But more importantly, they're going to cost us less in upkeep, so we're going to be able to rebuild our fleets much faster. So that's great. I'm definitely concerned about our minerals and food situations, and eventually our unity, but that's a long ways out. We should definitely colonize this world. There we go. Beautiful. So these are all finishing their repairs. The 8th Fleet is still working on its upgrades. As soon as it's done, I want it to come over and enter orbit here. But we'll wait until that's actually completed. Cool. We already dealt with Croc, so that'll be fine. 2727? Sure. Cloaked fleets have been discovered.
Complete.
Yep. No shockers there. So Moda is under our control right now. Will it remain that way? Potentially is the remarkable answer there.
Scientific
Somebody built a Dyson
breakthrough
sphere. I
achieved.
hope they have fun with that.
Our ships have been made superior.
Cool. So our
The
upgrades are now
conquest
complete.
of a new world
And we
has
finished
begun.
up matter compression. Not that we're really too concerned about that. I want to get that ancient pulse armor done for sure.
The
It's
conquest
definitely
of a
very
new
interesting,
world has
isn't it?
begun.
That it's both armor and shields. We'll have to think about how we want to utilize that, and I do eventually want to rework all of our ships. So we'll go ahead and reinforce our fleets for now. We need like 150,000 more alloys, and we're making nearly 3,000 per month, so that's really not too bad. Let's go through our jobs here real quick. We've got Kolbath, this factory world, and what do we want to put in here? The answer is... It's a little bit awkward, isn't it? But I guess we would want to put in... like a military academy? Maybe? Yeah, it's definitely awkward here. We have most of what we want. Realistically, I guess we put in a hypercoms for them. That would do the trick. So we've got this mining world here. That needs to migrate. There's nothing that we can do on that particular world. What else do we have going on through here? And we should be ticking forward while we're doing this. There's no reason not to be. What do we have? A whole lot of nothing. Okay.
Scientific
We had 2 right up at the
breakthrough
top,
achieved.
and then basically nothing. This trade station still requires housing, which is remarkable to me. Very remarkable. We'll build a habitation district, but that's not going to solve the problem. Huh. Okay. Well, sure. That's fine for now. Ancient Pulse Armor has finished up, and next up we are going to go for Ancient Suspension Fields. So these give shield hardening and shield hit points. So they're just hardened shields. We'd have to compare the actual numbers to see how that would end up comparing to our current shields. It's definitely interesting. So let's check in on the Uvzant. Yeah, they're still pathetic to us. So that's definitely fascinating. We need 150,000 alloys at this point to get our fleets rebuilt. We're definitely making solid progress on that front. The price of alloys is a little bit on the high end. No shockers there. Hello, console. Goodbye, console. And the mining world here, we really probably should resettle this guy. Move them over to basically anywhere that has an open job, right? They'll demote, but that's fine. Cool. So this will update eventually. There. Now it updated to be serious. That's okay. So what are we going to do here? We have a clerk job that's open. We could wait for this guy to demote, or we could go to civilian replicomplexes, and that seems okay. Cool. 144,000 at this point is what we need to get our ships rebuilt. Great. That's a very, very good situation. And I do definitely want to attack the Uvzantotocracy. The main thing that is keeping me from doing it... Well, do they have anything up over here? No. The main thing that's keeping me from doing this right now is the fact that there's going to be a lot of fronts. But I'm wondering how much that actually matters. If these guys don't have fleets, then it probably doesn't matter, is the thing. They might get fleets reasonably quickly. And they do have a couple of vassals. So we need to look at the vassals. Emor's Republican Sons and the Tharbaritan Imperium. So this is the Republican Sons here. They probably don't matter. Yeah, they don't matter. Okay, so that's fine. And then where are the... Where's that Imperium at? I don't actually know where they are. Where are you guys at? Oh, that's these guys. Okay, noted. They're a little bit more powerful, I think. Heavy on the little. It would be a lot of fronts. There's no doubt about that. And the fronts wouldn't clean up. They would just be occupied, right? So I'm wondering what would happen to their vassals. Would they be freed if we were to vassalize the Ubzantitocracy? Or would their vassals be transferred to us? I'm pretty sure that they'd be freed. So we would do a vassalized CB, right? We have 66 claims, yes. Do we declare this right now? That's a major question. I feel like the time isn't going to get better. I feel like the time is, in fact, going to get worse. So, what would the plan be? Well, we're looking to vassalize them, right? So, we would just want to do a shock and awe campaign, pretty much. Just try to build up a bunch of fast war score. Get them to exit the war as quickly as possible by giving us our demands. So, what that would end up meaning is we would need fleets that are prepared to attack on a number of fronts. So we get these guys moved out. We're basically sending like one fleet to each of these little exclaves, and we want to clean them up extremely quickly. Funnily enough, we're using their gateways to get set up for this war, primarily. I like it. It's pretty great. So we would attack here. We would have one of our fleets be ready to attack here. So that would be set up in like harmonious repose. The 7th fleet would come up over this direction, and the 20th fleet would come up like over here. That gets a lot of the fronts under control. By no means is that all of them. But it's certainly a lot. Now, we are on, in terms of our policies, we are on, let's see here. Oppressive vassalage. So that's good. Cool. So that would be what we would go for there. And vassalizing the Ubzant will be huge. We'll want to integrate them eventually. No doubt about that. We'll wait until these guys are done traveling. For some of them, particularly like the 7th, it'll take a bit. Actually, they're not going to be too bad because they're going via this gateway. I like it. We'll continue to reinforce our fleets. 140,000. Make that 137,000 is what we need. But the time is not going to get better for us to strike here. We just need to get into position, and we're waiting on the 7th fleet and its reinforcements. Cool. So it will be in position very, very shortly. I do want to group together our armies.
We have established a new planetary base.
There we go. And this terraforming finished up. We should colonize that. Perfect. Okay. So we're about to declare this. This is going to be, I was going to say, a bit of a difficult war, but it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. In terms of pops, they have significantly fewer than us. They are economically equivalent to us. Our economy is kind of awkward, to be honest. It's not the strongest thing in the world, but it should be fine. We do have the BOS Guardian if we really want to. I feel like it's not necessary. And we're still making about 2.5k monthly here.
Scientific breakthrough.
So we're pretty much in
achieved.
position now. We did finish up the Ancient Suspension Shield, and I want to get all of these finished before we do our upgrades, so that means that that would happen after the Ubzant War. The Ancient Shield Overcharger, huh? That's a starbase building. Okay, got it. That's an interesting starbase building, to be sure. We'll go with the Ancient Cavitation Collapser. Armor penetration and armor damage. Interesting. So, functionally, what that means is it does its full amount of damage to the armor, plus 50% to the hull behind it. That's absolutely fascinating. The math may work out slightly differently than that, but that's definitely interesting. I think that we need to declare this. I think that there's not another time to do this. We vassalize them, and we conquer 66 claims. Do we make claims against them first? Probably. What else are we going to spend this influence on? Well, adjusting their contract, maybe. But we can do that after the war. I feel like we should do this. It'll be cheaper to make the claims now. So let's go ahead and make these. Eventually, Stellaris will get caught up. There we go. So we've already claimed basically everything out over here. I want to make sure that we have this stuff over this way claimed. There we go. That's 172. Everything over here is claimed. That's all good. I want to claim this stuff. And I want to make sure that we claim this entire exclave over here, ideally. I don't know if we're going to be able to get everything over this way. It's close. If we were to give up on these claims here, we don't necessarily care about that. We could take all of this, and then almost certainly take Bristol as well. Yeah, I think this is good. So we'll make those claims. There's a bunch of new claims. Fantastic. Stellaris will catch up eventually, and we're going to declare on these guys basically instantly. We have 81 claims that we're looking to conquer from them, and then we're going to subjugate them. So, I mean, keep in mind that the system, or the galaxy is 1,000 systems, right? So this is like 0.8% of the galaxy. Yeah, close to 1% of the galaxy that we're looking to conquer here from them. No, this is wrong. This is 8% of the galaxy. What am I talking about? 8% of the galaxy that we're looking to conquer from them, and then we're looking to subjugate probably another at least 20%. This is huge.
At last, to war.
At last to war, indeed. So, we are going to strike out in a number of locations. Now, how strong are their bases? They're kind of weak, to be honest. A lot of our fleets are not fully built up, right? So it'll take us a little bit of time to work our way through some of these areas. The 9th is going to attack over here. The 4th is going to push down over this direction. No problem. The 8th can push in over this way. Looks good. The 6th is intended to push in this direction. And this initial strike means that they're going to lose a lot of their economic power, right? They're going to lose a lot of economy from this. So we push in something like this. Some of this is not going to exactly work because of blockers here. We've not updated the access yet. Okay, these guys were actually intended to come up and attack Terminal Egress. I'm not sure how realistic that is. Actually, it's kind of okay. Assuming that they don't go up there themselves, which they may or may not do. So we'll push our way through here. Again, our primary goal right now is to just run a bit of a shock and awe campaign and take as much as we can. So this is going to update, and some of these orders are going to become impossible. Okay. So the Sarberetan Imperium has a lot of forces here. That's noted. That's most of their forces, in fact. They're still pretty weak compared to us, so it should be fine. The question that I have is, how many reasons do they have to not achieve the war goals? 3,802. A lot of those are demanding unoccupied systems and unoccupied planets. In fact, that's nearly all of it. And we will occupy those. So that seems to be reasonably fine. Let's proceed. We did terraform this world. This should certainly be colonized. There we go.
Beginning attack run on enemy
Fantastic.
station.
Now again, these are not going to directly flip over to us, okay? Big old month tick going on here. These are not going to directly
Beginning
flip
attack
over to
run on
us.
enemy
We're going to
station.
occupy them. So that's going to be a thing. Let's go ahead and get our army heading out over this direction right now.
Beginning attack run on enemy station.
Cool. So we're going to do a lot of damage to these guys. We're a little bit concerned right now about this pile of
Beginning
fleets.
attack run on enemy station.
We'll see if they get pulled off of contingency duty. They're heading to the hyper relay. But I'm not sure if they're coming this direction or if
Beginning
they're
attack
coming
run
over
on
into
enemy
Harms.
station.
It's hard to say. Okay, the 9th Fleet has taken over terminal egress. That looks good.
Beginning
I do
attack
want to
run on
continue to
enemy
reinforce
station.
our fleets here. And it is also, after this month tick anyway, I can't press any buttons because that could potentially crash the game. But there we go. We can definitely move again now. It is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to push through and win this war. Well, maybe not in one episode. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, and Lohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Rogue Corvid, Anna the Elephant, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.